Let's go ahead and turn on our cameras. Oh, Kahi, how are you? Hey, do you know where to go to like submit assignments? Okay, you missed a couple, yeah? Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's get into our module 1.1 for English 9. Thank you guys for coming on time. I really appreciate it. So what I'm gonna have you guys do is just do a real quick, like, were the walls good or bad parents? Okay, so go ahead and let's start off with that bell work assignment. Okay, and then we'll move on. Hi, morning, Kala. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Good morning.
Morning, Hayden. All right, so what I want you guys to do is to get into module 1.2 and then go ahead and just respond to are the walls good or bad parents? Okay. And I'm going to take attendance. Morning, Brooke. We're in module 1.1. Are the walls good or bad parents? Okay, so we're in that discussion. La Hikiola, do you have a kahako over your second A? Yes. All right. Cool. Do you want me to call you by your entire name?
You can just call me Kala.
I just read this article about how it's not cool to call too short people's names, but so as much as possible, I'm gonna try and call you Kalahikiola, okay? Just out of respect for you.
Okay,
Even
that's
if
fine.
you to call them, what is that?
That's fine.
Okay. And then Kahele Uolani. I will be practicing your names so that I can say them correctly. Hayden, I don't know, it's kind of hard, so I gotta practice that one too. Okay. All right. Caleb, thank you for resending me your link or your file. That was really helpful. All right. How are we doing? Okay, good or bad? Are they good or bad? Brooke, did you can you check the chat, please? I wrote to you. Okay, no problem. Kahele Uolani, what about you? Do you have a kahako somewhere in your name?
No.
No. Okay, thank you. Hayden, did you get to page 101? No?
I'm on like 75.
Ah. Thank you for being honest. Alicia, what about you?
No, I'm on like 65.
Nice. Anybody finish up to page 101? Oh, thank you. Kahelelulani. What about you, Mr. Sue? Did you? I didn't mean to rhyme that, by the way. That was not intended.
Yep, I made it to 101. Past 101.
Hate that. Alrighty, how are we doing? Are we done? Okay, go ahead and submit. Oh boy. So as you guys submit, you can kind of see like the responses above is kind of what I was looking for. Okay, so need to make sure that you guys are putting in the correct effort. Being that you guys are ninth graders, we need to make sure that you're stepping up. Okay. I don't know, Okay, is there a way that you can like edit your post?
Yeah, I was editing my post right now, so adding more.
Appreciate it. I love you too, yeah. So now that you can see kind of what the other people did, yeah. Okay, so I'm kind of looking for a paragraph. I mean, it shouldn't take that long. I want you guys to reference things that you remember. So we're just kind of just creating a starting point for today, right? We're thinking about things. Okay, we're trying to refresh our memories about how crazy these parents are. Kalahikiola, that's pretty good. Thank you. Okay, so then you can kind of read what the other people, what the other students have responded with, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and quickly submit. This is only supposed to be a work assignment, so it's supposed to only take us like 5 minutes. We're just kind of refreshing our memory, so we can go ahead and finish up here so we can move on to the meat and potatoes of what we're trying to do today. So basically what we're doing today is we're going to start off with this Bell assignment, and then we're going to jump into the past reading. We will be looking over some things from sections 1 and 2. And then we're going to go over the assignments for the week, along with your first memoir piece that we're writing. So since we're supposed to be up to page 101, up to page 101, we're going to be doing 2 things simultaneously. One thing that we're going to be doing is that we're going to be continue reading Jeanette's memoir piece, but we're also going to be writing our own. So I want you guys to start thinking about the stories that are coming, that have come out of your childhood that you want to talk about. So today we're going to be focusing on place. Okay, so we'll get more into that later on as we go through today's class. Just as a friendly reminder, your Membean is due before Sunday turns into Monday, okay? 3 sessions, 3 separate sessions. If you score 80 and above, you get an extra credit point. If you score 90 and above, you get 2 extra credit points. So this is a great way for you guys to like really get some extra credit points to make up for maybe points that you missed, right? If you look at your KS Connect, some of you guys already emailed me about it. Kind of weird. I just want to thank you guys for being gracious and emailing me if I get your grades wrong, because from my teacher view, it didn't look like what you guys were seeing. So just continue to communicate with me, especially when you do the work and then I tell you you didn't. Like, keep telling me that you did, and always like screenshots really help, because it wasn't until I went to the actual page and then scrolled down that I could see your guys' work. And it was really weird because from my end, I couldn't see your work. Okay, so just letting you guys know that happens as well. Okay, let's move on to this. Are you guys done? Please hit submit. Okay, so Alicia, what do you think? What do you think about the walls? Are they like good parents overall?
I mean, like, no, not really. They're like good and bad. They're kind of like crazy, but like not. I don't know how to explain it. Stop.
What is that? Okay, what about you, Hayden? What do you think?
I don't think they're really good, but I mean, it could be worse. Like, they don't like hit their children or anything, so yeah.
All right. Is the dad a good husband?
He tries to be.
Okay. So not really. Okay, what do you think? Is the dad a good husband from what you've read?
When he doesn't get his hands on alcohol, as long as he's sober, I think he's pretty good. But like, as soon as he gets drunk, like he starts throwing things around and getting angry, swearing, like that.
Right, and that is that question comes straight from your packet. So hopefully you guys have been working on your packet, because we're going to be working off of our packets for the next like 10 to 20 minutes or so. So very good. Very important that anytime Rex Walls loses his job, right? Like all hell breaks loose, right? He disappears for a couple of days. He's probably passed out drunk. He visits the brothels. he disappears from his kids' lives and then shows back up. It's very bizarre, like nothing happened. It's very bizarre. Okay. All right. Caleb, what about you? What do you think? How would you rate their parents?
Like a scale on 1 to 10, like a 6 or 7.
And why?
Yeah. Because like they're like good parents because they love their children, and like sometimes they have the right intention, but sometimes they just don't like put it across the right way.
Right. Um, Rahele, Lani, what about you? What do you think? Like, yeah, they don't their like actions and their like intentions don't really match up at times. I think that's what Caleb was saying. But like what do you think?
I think for the most I don't know, they like had both moments where like they were good parents, but then there were also those like bad moments where it's like kind of questionable.
Questionable is right. Right. Um, just real quickly, what does the glass castle symbolize for this family? Okay, so go in the chat and just quickly tell me. In these like sections, right? What does a glass castle symbolize for this family? Okay. What is the dad's dream? Yeah. It can be one word, it can be a theme. So what does it represent? Yeah, the dad's dream. What else? And so hmm. Somebody say something else besides the dad's dream. Like what else does it represent or symbolize? There you go. Hayden said it. Represents hope. Okay, so this hope, right? Although the dad is super destructive, although the dad holds back the family, he also launches them into like this ability for them to dream of better things, right? Although they're super happy, they're okay with their situation. Like that's how the parents want to live. They totally reject what society's expectations call upon people. It's very interesting. Okay, you see it when they interact with Rosemary's mother. Okay, alrighty, thank you. Let's go ahead in the chat. Did I send it to you yet? Where did it go? I am sending you the link. I don't know if you guys can see the link again, but I'll resend it. Okay, so there's this link. Everybody should be popping up on it. Okay. Yeah, so their parents, I mean, are they good and bad parents? Yeah. A lot of good though. It's a very complex response because they're just they're not very they're not your typical parents, but they're also not bad parents. Okay, how are we doing? Okay, in the chat there's a link, so I need to see how you guys pop up on the. Okay, I only have 3 of you in there. 4. All right, let's get started. So what we have here is we have questions from sections 1 and 2. Real easy. Okay, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to just be working with each of you guys on an individual level. I'm hoping that you guys have answered the questions in the packet because this shouldn't take very long. If you had taken notes in your packets, then you guys should be able to do this fairly simply. What I'm doing is I'm going to check to see where you're currently at with being able to respond properly to a question. Before we do that, let's go ahead. Everybody go ahead and get into slides 2 or 3. We're going to go claim one of the numbers. Go ahead and write your name real fast. And then go ahead and select a memorable quote from section 1. So in your student packet, you should have the double entry journal section where you can write down your memorable quotes. Okay, so you should be using your notes to jot down a memorable quote and just a quick explanation as to why it's memorable. Okay. This is just for section 1, and then we'll move on. So just to refresh your memory. Before I forget, you guys see the at the top where it says period 7 questions from sections 1 and 2. You see that folder where it says move? Yeah. I want you to add this to your drive so that you have it, so that you can refer to it when you're reviewing for the test. Okay. You know how to do that? Add it to your drive.
The Google slide isn't loading for me.
Who said that?
Kala.
Yola. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to try. I'll just email it to you. Okay. Okay. Try that. Yola, what about now? Could you get on?
Yeah.
Get him. Okay. Very good, Alicia. Thank you for putting the page number in the correct place with the period at the end. Go ahead and change your opinas to an apostrophe though. Thank you. One more down below. Just wondering, can you hear the fan? No.
Kind of. Not really.
All right. And then if you're done with this section 1 memorable quote, go to slide number 6 and go ahead and drop one in for section 2. Good, you guys all chose different things. Awesome. Oh. And then Hayden, don't forget to add the period after your page number for the parenthetical notation. And then just one sentence saying why you thought it was a good quote. Okay, Caleb, go back to yours. Let's have you put a capital Y if that's the beginning of the quotation. And then mom said comma. And then your period, we're doing double periods here. After fire, delete the period. Yeah, and then we're good to go. Let's see the other. Believe it's me. Yeah. Kahi, you two, we got double periods going on. Go ahead and take out the first period. There you go. Thank you. So as you guys can see, I'm kind of like helping you guys out with your punctuation marks as we go through this. And then we're going to get into answering in paragraph format. Let's look. Kahele, you have an extra space after your question mark. I mean, before. Yeah, there. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Thank you. Awesome. Don't forget the period after your parenthetical notation. All right. Very cool. If you are done with the section 1 memorable quotes, make sure you go on to section 2 memorable quotes. Hopefully we can add in something worthwhile. Whoa. Just refresh it. It went back. Okay, how are we doing? We doing okay? All right. What we have here is we have basically we have individual questions. Okay, so now that we're all good on creating parenthetical notations with page numbers and knowing where to put the period, let's go ahead and get into our questions. So we have on slide 4, Alahikiola, you are slide 4. If you guys look at the slides, your name is at the end of each question. Alicia, you're slide 5. Hayden, you're slide 8. Caleb, slide 9. Okahi, slide 10. And Hele Lani, your slide 11. Okay. So go ahead. As you guys type in, I'm going to be making quick adjustments and suggestions to you. Oh, sorry. And so let's make sure that you guys are working off of your notes and in your books, okay? Alahikiola, how's your question? Are you okay with it? Are you working on your question already?
It says reconnecting. It gives me like 15 seconds to type, and then
Huh?
it says
You're muted.
reconnecting.
Oh no. How's it going now? Is it okay?
No, it still says reconnecting.
Oh. Can you type in the chat? Because what I can do is just drop in the text and then I'll copy it and paste it onto the. There. Can you? Oh, sorry, wrong place. Darn it. There. There. Got it? Okay. So just type it in there and then I'll copy and paste it into the slideshow, okay? Oh, Kahi, how are you doing? Yeah. Do you need help?
I'm just reading through it a little bit,
Okay.
reading through the
So
book
one
more,
thing about your
checking stuff.
question is because, like Maureen, do you know how old Maureen is at this point?
Like 1.5, 2, 3.
Yeah, she's basically a
toddler.
toddler, right? And so there's very little action going on with her. Okay, so this question about what is unusual about Maureen should come from, and I'm gonna just point you in those pages because it's like finding a needle in a haystack. So if you look on page 67 and 73, okay, that should be kind of your hint as to what's up with Maureen. Okay, I'll give you some help there. Let's see. Okay, Caleb, good job with your claim as far as like answering the question. Okay, so let's just go ahead and make sure you add in some specific details and maybe drop in a page number. Okay. Oh, Leilani. So sorry I mispronounced your name. I'm gonna get it right though, okay? Promise you, we'll practice. So let's look. Okay, I like that you quickly address the keywords in the prompt. Okay, and then answer the question. Right. Okay, and then what are you doing? It looks like you're trying to find a direct quote or something. Page number. It's okay to add in a paraphrase if you want to talk in generally about something, but make sure if you're paraphrasing, you still mention what page you're referring to, okay? Hayden, how you doing? So Hayden, you probably need to go to page 81 and look in that section, okay? Okay, how are we doing? Alicia, are you done?
Do you want a direct quote, like, or yes?
I know that was a trick question, but yeah, so you have, so what I'm trying to look for is like, so you have this question. You need to first of all answer the question with the claim, and then like, how do you back that up? Like with what detail, right? So your section is pretty straightforward because it starts on page 3 and ends on page 5. Okay, so you should be able to find something of meaning that will help you to explain this. Like, as why does she sink down into the taxi when she sees her mom? Okay. I just gave you a little hint there. Okay, and like, is her mom embarrassed at the way she lives her life? Not at all, right? That's just her. She's all good, right? Okay, how are we doing here? Can we finish up in the next like 2 to 3 minutes? I want to move us on because I want to make sure that you have time to kind of talk about our next assignments. Hayden.
Yeah.
Okay, so your response deals with Billy Deal.
Me?
Yeah. They move, right? They get out of there. What happens? There's like a series of events, right? That build up to this. But what happens that makes them like have to get out of Battle Mountain? Do you know off the top of your head?
Oh, I think I'm on the page right now.
Okay. Anybody know why
Where
they get
I
out?
think
Anybody remember why they had to get out of there? Out of Battle Mountain?
Jeanette and the siblings pull a real gun on the kid who was shooting at them with the BB gun.
Right. So as you guys know, Rex Walls, he's good at teaching his kids like very useful things. And one of them was to shoot guns, right? I mean, these parents are not like deadbeat parents by any stretch of the imagination. The mom taught them how to read. The mom taught them botany, so like the knowledge of plants. Very cool. Like these would be like your typical, like, I don't know, free-flowing parents, I would think, right? And so because there's this like shootout, right, between Billy Deal and the kids, right, the police get called. Okay, so Hayden, get to that point, okay?
yeah, it says I'm on page 89.
There you go. Okay, Caleb, what about you? What were some other instances that fire played kind of like this role of advisory and resilience? I mean, it very, very good 2 words to describe how fire plays a significant role in her story. What were some other instances of fire?
Like the dad getting fired from his jobs. Like, are you talking about like actual fire?
Oh, actual fire. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the dad kept getting fired because he didn't want to play by the rules. Kept stealing stuff. What else? Anybody remember?
Oh, when Janit was behind the car playing with the matches. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Ah,
The hotel room where
the
in it.
hotel room burning, right? What else? There was this massive explosion. Her and Brian went flying. What was that, Alicia? Talk to me about that.
There was this toxic waste place at the dump, and in the one corner, and they took a whole bunch of the stuff and put it in the bin and lit a match. And
Right. I mean, you can't make up her life. Like, this is stuff that comes out of a movie, but it was her actual life. Okay. She gets burned at 3, burns down a hotel room, no big deal, right? Blows stuff up. I mean, it's just like the fire's all around her. Okay. Hey, are we done? Can we move on? Kalahikiola, did you, are you still typing? Did he get stuck? Poor thing. Oh yeah, there you are. Kala, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah. Are you typing in the chat or are you typing on the in your slide?
In the chat.
Okay. You can send me what you have right now so I can post it. I can paste it into the text box. So. Okay. Alkahi, good job with yours. I think you have a typo at the end. Okay, let's see. Oh, Hele Aulani, let's look at your response. You got the possessive apostrophe needs to be changed to an apostrophe for kids. Thank you. I mean, something that wasn't families. Okay. And then you see how you ended with a direct quote? Let's finish it off with just further explaining. Yeah, and from there they left to go to Phoenix or something like that. We just want to make sure that you don't leave us hanging with a direct quote, okay, and that you end with something. Okay. All right. I'm going to be moving on. Okay, so are we good to go? So from what the length of this activity has told me is that perhaps we're not filling out our books. Okay, so we need to make sure that we're filling out our books, okay? Because I don't want to waste time face-to-face waiting for you guys to do the work that you're supposed to be doing prior to entering class. So let's make sure that you're adding to your workbooks for the glass castle so that we can quickly do our work and then move on. Okay, I know we're still getting the hang of it, but let's do it. All right. Let's go to, let's do this. Let's go to Canvas. I'm gonna walk you through a couple things. Okay, so we already did the good or bad parents. And so the next thing, this is what you're gonna be doing tomorrow during cohort B. We have a resilience letter. So requirements, it's gonna be handwritten. So you're gonna submit this with, by taking a picture. Okay, so it has to be handwritten. You're gonna select a character that needs to receive a letter at this point of the novel regarding section 3. Okay, so section 3 is like from page 102 to 154. Okay, so just keep that in mind, okay? It says number 3, specifically address an issue that the character is having. You're gonna provide some cordial advice, not, hey bro, get out of there. We wanna be very well, I don't know, give some positives, all right? So what I want you to do is use a lesson from Eho Imao to help explain what kind of advice you're giving them. You want to provide also personal insight and connection, and then close out the letter by wishing the character well. So this is handwritten, no big deal. Any questions on this assignment? Alicia, any questions on this assignment? Okay. Can I move on? So in order to do this, you're gonna have to take a picture of it and then upload it, okay? Because it's gonna be handwritten. All right, next. Go ahead and hit the next button. All right, as promised, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get points for working in your student packet. So this should take you, be a quick assignment. All you're gonna do is take a picture of your student packet, page 2, which is the setting, and then pages 9 and 10. You can take the page 9 and 10 together and then upload it to this assignment, no big deal. Can? Okay, go ahead and click the next button. And I'm gonna move on by sharing my screen with you guys. Okay. So as we do this, go ahead and open up a Google Doc. Okay, so go into your Google Drive, open up a Google Doc, and let's move on. So what we have here is, do you guys see my screen? Yes? Okay. All right, so this is memoir, this is the memoir number 1. So as promised, as we are reading Jeanette's memoir, we're going to be writing some memoir pieces. These are gonna be short pieces, and for now, I'm just calling for drafts. And then at the end of the quarter, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all of these drafts and we're gonna select 2 of them, okay? So no big deal. All right, so the first memoir is talking about place. So here's the directions. You're gonna create this on a Google Doc. This is where you're gonna collect all of your assignments. All your memoir pieces will be on one Google Doc, okay? So I want you to think about a place that you can be your authentic self. Ask yourself, why is it special? Who makes it special? Think about the sense, the visuals, the sounds and the feelings that are brought to the surface when you're thinking of this special place. Also create that picture for the reader with visual details. Build the scene and scenery, allow people in. So I said 1 page, but no more than 2 pages, all right, double space. So if you guys look at my screen, it should look like this. Go ahead and title it Memoir Collection 2020. And then I titled my memoir collection, but I think I'm going to change it because that's not really what I want it to be titled as, Broken Pieces Turned into Artwork. So that's what should be at the top, is your title and then just your name. What I'm going to do is this actually though. Okay, so let's set this up as MLA format. So go ahead and write your first and last name. Okay, so that should be going on. Write my name, so write your teacher's name. Okay, write your course name, and then the date. Remember, the date should be day, month, and year. So it's the 26th August and then 2020, just like that. Okay, so we're setting up our document. Also, let's go into insert and go to header and footers. Okay, so when you go into headers, what I want you to do is go ahead and justify this to the right. Type in your last name only, space, and then the page number. In order to add the page number in there, don't just type in 1 because you're gonna have 1 on each page. So let's go ahead and insert, go to page number, and then click on this box right here. Everybody following along? Can I get a thumbs up? Okay, so once you do that, then it should work out. Then the following page will be 2, 3, 4. Alrighty. We're good to go. Let's not make that point. Okay. All right. How are we doing? We doing okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you my memoir piece. This is a draft. Okay, so I'm telling you that it's a draft because I want you guys to see that a draft is okay. You just gotta get it down on the paper. Okay, so you should have double spacing. Okay, so before I read this to you, couple things. I was thinking about writing about Bayfront soccer fields because that's where my twin and I played soccer, but that was okay. I was thinking also about writing about our neighborhood park up at Ainola Park, because that's where we used to play basketball, play one-on-one basketball up there. But then I chose my grandma's house because this kind of happened like 3 weeks ago. So when you guys are typing out your drafts, what I would like you to consider is if you start writing and then you're like, I want to write about something else, quickly abandon it and write. If it takes too long because it's like you're bored or whatever, then abandon it and go to something else. If it's taking a little bit longer because there's some heavy emotions attached to the place you're talking about, then that might be a good thing to write about. Okay, so just keep that in mind as you're writing your draft. Okay, so here it goes. This is called 69 Nalani Street. There used to be a house at 69 Nalani Street. Only the mailbox remains. Till this day, I can see her walking up her driveway to go check the mail and the stubborn sound of the mailbox. Its foundations grew roots right across the municipal golf course, right off of Ha'i Street. She kept all her precious and semi-precious belongings there. Her extravagant diamond rings, her costume jewelry, and even the craft-made keepsakes. She made the best layered rice in that kitchen. I can still remember, even till this day. There used to be a driveway that shared its space with her pu'akinikini tree by the mailbox. All of it was hers after the divorce. It was the place my twin and I would go to spend time with her. Her name was Nancy Kikuko Marumoto. She was our grandma for 39 years. Many would say we were lucky to have her for all those years, but for me, I miss her every day. Once upon a time, when we were in elementary school, I played hooky. I told my mom I was sick so that I could go hang out with Gram. I loved 69 Nalani Street. The house was so cool with the Japanese furo and the clubhouse in the back that my grandpa and his friends used to play cards in. 69 Nalani Street was the home my mother grew up in. It's the place where Grandma made me feel like I belonged. When lunchtime approached, Grandma, Nancy, asked what I wanted for lunch, being that I was feeling under the weather. I ordered up her famous softball-sized musubi and a hot dog on a chopstick. Times back then were simple. We accepted whatever we received and appreciated the work of one's hands. My Grandma Nancy's hands made the musubi. Ordinary people might consider her musubis to be one giant ball of rice, but my twin and I saw them as presents that only grandchildren would appreciate. She placed a tiny ume in the middle of all that rice and wrapped the musubi with the nori that came out of the clear and blue packaging. If we were lucky enough, she'd place half a scoop of wet nori in the middle. That was my Grandma Nancy. And needless to say, that was the very first and last time I ever played hooky. One of the best parts of Grandma Nancy's house was the driveway. One Christmas, we received these plastic pedal bikes. The rule was that we had to keep the bikes from keep the bikes at Graham's house since she bought them for us. Man, talk about bribing us to visit her. We never knew that at the time, but her bribe worked. We always wanted to go to Graham's house. As we got better and better at riding our pedal bikes, we quickly figured out that we could drift with these bikes. The plastic wheels made for perfect sliding conditions on the pavement. It would scare her hair straight up on Graham's permed hair. She'd squeal, "Oh, you guys better watch out before you skin your knees." She'd always warn us, but never forbid us from learning our lesson. About 3 weeks ago, so you can kind of hear there's this transition. Okay, about 3 weeks ago. So I flashed back, and now I'm in the present. So that's why there's this transition. About 3 weeks ago, I was in her neighborhood. Something told me to go visit. I've never been to her house. I haven't been to her house since she passed away 3 years ago. I almost drove by because it was unrecognizable. The echoes of my childhood in my head faded to a softer something. And I approached this unimaginable sight. All of it was gone. It wasn't the place I remembered it to be, the place that gently held my most sacred memories. It was gone. The maroon roof and the eggshell walls and even the driveway were gone. As the engine to my 2007 Jeep laid idle, I took one last ride down the driveway with my twin as 7-year-old kids. Her in her plastic pedal bike and me in my Night Rider, and Graham at the bottom of the driveway yelling at us to be careful. Suddenly a truck honked at me to move. As I drove off, her famous two-handed wave sent me down the road of life. My grandma would wave to us like this and say, "So longy wongy." Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like right now. Okay, and I hope that you feel the need to go visit your grandparents sometime. Okay, so here it is. Okay, there's nothing there. So if you look carefully, her lot is being subdivided into 2 lots. This thing, right? What do you call this thing? Excavator? Is this an excavator? Yeah. This thing broke down her house. So if you look on the right-hand side, you can see, like, I think that's basically all that was left of her house. And then if you look right here in the middle of the picture, there's her mailbox. The poor Kinney tree is gone. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you, do you know what a pedal bike is? Okay, this was, and don't laugh, okay, this is like what I wanted for Christmas one time. This was my Night Rider pedal bike. Okay, I'm gonna show you. You see these back tires on this thing? This thing would make me be able to Tokyo drift. Okay, so when I first got this bike, I had to put the seat on the first holes because I couldn't reach the pedal. Okay, did anybody have this bike or something like it when they were growing up? Are you kidding me? Oh, you did, Hayden? What was yours?
It looked like that. It wasn't that color, but it worked the same way.
Totally cool. All right. So what we have here is we have the bike. Okay. If you can find pictures of the place, like if you have this special place where you go camping or whatever it is, a special place, you can go ahead and write about that place. And then I want you to drop some pictures in as you go through this. Okay. All right. In moving on, I'm just going to quickly show you guys. Okay. You're going to get points for finishing, just doing a draft. Okay, you're going to get 10 points for doing a draft because we're going to come back to it and revise it anyway. Okay, so no big deal. The last thing, just the reminders. I got to take out this CER section 3 because we're just doing the memoir piece. Okay, but these are your reminders. Okay, and that's basically it for class. One of the reminders is that you have to do your membing. Okay, 3 separate sessions. Okay, any questions on anything? No? Okahi, you good? Hele Aulani, what about you? See, I'm getting better, right? Working on it. Anybody else? I think it's time for lunch. Okay. Hey, oh shoot. I gotta show you guys something. Sorry. And then I'm gonna let you guys go. I gotta show you this. It's crazy. Okay, are you guys just full screen it? So remember how I told you to go into Google Earth, right? I wanna show you guys this. Where is this? I'll go down the road. Look at this. Can you see the Owl Club? So this is in Battle Mountain, okay? I want you guys to make sure that you're able, like, you can go through the book and find these places, right? You can kind of start to understand, like, this place that Jeanette was in is crazy. Like, let me just zoom out for you guys. Look at that. I mean, there's nothing there. There's really nothing in this little town. It's crazy. Okay, look, that's probably the school she was at. Okay, so I just want to give you guys that. When you guys look at Welsh, because that's where, well, first they're in Phoenix, so you look that up. But we're also headed to Welsh. Sorry, Walsh. Yeah, you guys got to go find it. It is actually Welsh. There. No. Okay, it's not popping up. But anyway, I want you guys to use Google Earth because you can see where she actually was living. It's crazy. She doesn't live in the nicest places, and that's how her parents wanted it to be. Okay. All right. Okay. If you have any questions, I'll be on tomorrow. Okay. Please keep up with your reading. Okay. How many of you guys are already like in section 3 already? Okahi, you? Okay. Caleb, you? Not yet? Okay. All right. So stay up with your reading. It's just going to get crazier. Okay. You're going to meet Rex Wall's grandma. She's a little bit of a weirdo. Okay. And as always, if things get too crazy or intense for you, or it just seriously grosses you out, just flip a page or something like that, and you can skip that part. Okay, I'm not forcing you to read about gross old dirty grandma. Okay, so no, for real, she's crazy. That's why if you don't read this, you're like gonna miss out on the what the heck is going on with her family. Okay, so all right, be safe. Don't touch your face. And I'll see you guys whenever you need. Okay, if not next week. Okay, bye you guys. Take care.